What is up, everybody? Welcome to a new Let's Play on the channel, The Life and Suffering of Sir Brante in Times of the Fall of the Blessed Arknian Empire. Might be Arknian Empire. But anyway, this is a storybook, choose-your-own-adventure, artistic, gruesome, rough life kind of game. We're going to do what we always do, and I'm not going to sit here and describe it forever like a lot of people do on YouTube. I'm just going to play the game and let you guys see it yourself. Enter your character's name. We're going to do Sir Brante. Choose your name characters. Choose your name carefully. Other characters will address you exactly like this. Chapter restarts. And Abe, you'll be able to rewind the beginning of any chapter you have completed and continue from that point. We're going to do that just because it's a YouTube thing, or else we do an Iron Man thing. Consequences. You will see the consequences of your possible actions in advance. This is the recommended game mode, and you'll be able to direct the character's fate in the way you want. You know what? We'll do this. If we want to, we'll do an Iron Man hidden another time, but yeah, let's do it abled and open. You hold the fate of a single man in your hands. You'll follow his life from birth to death. Your choices shall define who Sir Brante will grow up to be. You'll decide his personality, social status, and what mark he'll leave on history. With every step he takes at your behest, Sir Brante's character will change and evolve. Your decisions will close some doors for him, but open many others. The world of Sir Brante's birth is a ruthless realm where people are divided into estates. It is hard to be a hero here. Be ready to accept that Sir Brante cannot overcome every challenge in his path. Every hard choice will test his character and personal qualities. Often you will not be able to make the choice you would like to. It may happen because you choose a different road earlier, exhausted your hero's willpower, or haven't earned the right position in society. Every victory will be a struggle, a path paved with bitter losses and gut-wrenching failures. Accept the tragedy. This is how you would create a gripping and unique tale for your hero. What will become of dear Sir Brante, his loved ones, and his world? It all depends on you. That's gonna be a lot of reading, I'll tell you that much. At the end of time, your fingers are stained with ink, your breathing grows ragged, your hands are shaking, yet the world begins appearing on the page before you one by one, clinging together to form a chronicle of your own life. Who are you? How did you reach this end? You were born, raised, and lived your entire life in the blessed Arknian Empire. In this land, a man's destiny is predetermined at the moment of his birth. Whether human or Arknian, nobleman, priest, or low-born commoner, all bend to the divine will of the twin gods. And each life is not but a single cog in the universe's immeasurable machine. The memories come flooding back. They engulf you as the merciless wave binding together days that are thrice dead and gone. The dreams of your childhood, your adolescence, your youth spent in the capital, years of peace teeming with life and a war drenched in blood. High ranks and lowly deeds, opulent palaces, secretive city backstreets, fields of battle, and faces. So many faces of the people you held dear, the people who walked this road by your side. Such was your life, now all exposed by ink erupting onto the page. With your every step you sought to change the world as you saw fit. The choices of your upbringing, the path you carved into your youth, the fruits of your struggle, and the consequences of your sacrifice, all of it led you here to the end of your time. And every choice had a price. Now years and years later, the crossroads of your life echo in your memory, and the pain and joy inextricably intermingled. Because you have taken a different path, chosen a different calling, found a different place in the world, you had the power to alter the very course of history. Now on the verge of death, you struggle with doubt, seeking answers to the last and most crucial question of all. Your life. All paths in life. Why did you walk this one? Did you choose your own fate? Or was it life shaped by forces beyond your control? What determines a man's destiny? And we get to do some choices. This could be a lot of reading. So what determines a man's destiny? The man himself. Your life has always been yours to live. You made your own destiny. The world around him. Your path was charted for you by the people, the age, and the society you live in. A higher power. Your destiny was forged by a power greater than your own will. Or there is no destiny. Destiny does not exist. Human life is an exercise in chance. It is not governed by any laws. I myself am generally between yourself, or there is no destiny. I always think of it as I think that you choose your own destiny, but I also don't think destiny is a thing. I think you just live your own life. So I'm gonna go with the man himself. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be. It's my opinion. At the end of time, you can hear death's footsteps drawing near. You square your shoulders and take a deep, full breath. You have found your final answer. What is destiny other than a long chain of your own actions and decisions? No matter what happened in your life, you always had a choice. You lived the life you deserved. Only you can answer for it. Are you right about this? Is it all true? To learn the truth, you will have to return to the very beginning, remembering every step you took along the way. On those pages, the story of a man named Brante will live once more. So it looks like we have childhood, adolescence, youth, peacetime, and the revolt. Well, let's go be born. I like the art style. It's very pretty. Childhood, where life begins. First words, first unsteady steps. You're but a small child learning about the world in which you were born. To you, everything is so new, so baffling, and so unforgiving. A long, trying life stretches before you, so many feats and faults, so many fateful choices to come, yet you are already sowing the seeds of your future self. You are learning to live and survive in this world, looking for a place within it to call your own, choosing your destiny. Who will you grow up to be? Good question. Prologue, growing up. In chapters Childhood, Adolescence, and Youth, you will live through your hero's coming of age. You will shape the protagonist's personality, his qualities, and relationships. So at the end of the prologue, you will determine the estate and future occupation of your hero. Only in the adulthood will he start to influence the world around him, and even the ultimate fate of the Empire. Who will Brante grow up to be? It's your call. Yeah, it's my call. It's my life. It's my life. Childhood, where life begins. First words, first unsteady steps. I've already read this. Events in the personal life of a hero that can happen in this chapter. The fencing lesson. You dare to study fencing like your father, even though you have no right to it by birth. Determination is greater than 4. Suffer your first death. As a small child, you suffer your first death and rebirth. Interesting. You experience an insight when your mother tells you about the ways of the world and a lot of its inhabitants. Perception is greater than 4. We play with the ants. And Nobleman's Sacrament. You challenge the sacred odor and attempt to seize a noble lot. Willpower is greater than 0. Kiss the sword. Alright. The personal qualities at this age, they determine the choices you may take. Determination, your perseverance and strength of character, your ability to get your way, it affects your frame of mind and skills you have when you grow up. Perception represents how attentive you are to other people in the world around you, your ability to comprehend and learn, and affects your frame of mind and the skills you have when you grow up. Your inner strength, the number of lesser deaths that you have experienced. These qualities will stay with you for your entire life. Willpower, your remaining inner strength and readiness for action. Untouched by death. After suffering a lesser death, one is reborn. One who dies a true death faces the judgment of the twin gods. The sections that open in this chapter. The Destiny screen is now available. Okay. It's just... okay. Personality is now available. Nice hair we got going on there. Our House of Brante, we have a tarnished reputation, wealth, unity in the air is Stephen Brante, or Stefan. I'm gonna go with Stefan. Gregor. Grandpa. Daddy. Oh, look at that. A divorce in the family. So they were born. So Stefan here was born of them. But I was born of this one. And yeah, interesting. Okay, back to scene. Begin chapter. It's going to be an interesting game. I'm going to be reading a lot. My voice is going to be dead after this one. At first, there was nothing. No time, no sensation, nothing but darkness and void. But then a will breathed life into nothingness. Matter and spirit were set in motion. History began its march. Oh my. It was your turn to enter this world. Your first memory, you're lying on your back, blinded by a bright white light. You are not alone. Above you tower the colossal figures of those who created you. You are part of them, and they are part of you. Between you and them, it is inexplicable connection, a strong, unbreakable link. They will always watch over you, guard you, and protect you. It hurts to breathe. You let out a pain in the form of a desperate scream. Your creators extended their hands towards you. There are 2 of them. The ones who made your form from their own selves and brought you into this world. They are united, yet as they lean closer, you begin to see how different they are. You can already feel the differences within you, struggling against each other. The first figure is soft and emphatic, wise and merciful. The love that emanates from it wraps you head to toe like an invisible blanket. The warmth from it is never ending. The second figure is strong and powerful, commanding and noble. It is harsh but fair, a beacon of guidance, a force of protection, and merciless punishment for every misdeed. Yet there is also a third figure. It is like a shadow, barely seen behind them, yet already pulsing with an unbreakable will to live. is the very will to live that is now growing even stronger within you. A soft palm, strong closed fist, a lingering distant shadow. You struggle to loosen the swaddling clothes around you and extend a tiny hand into the world. Do we reach out to the palm? Reach out to the fist? Or do we smile at the shadow? You know what? We go for mom's finger here. Yeah, that's for sure. Your little palm awkwardly clasps the soft finger. You explore your mother's hand by touch. She smiles gently as her arms wrap around you and lift you up. She smells of home, that indescribable smell, that feeling of safety that is second to none. Her embrace is the warmest place in the world, a place you will want to stay for all eternity. Well, +1 perception. Alright, we're perceptive, baby. You're 1118. Your life begins. How will you live it? How indeed. Oh, we're 1. Successfully made it to 1-year-old without dying in the choose your own story. As days go by, you learn to tell your parents apart. You recognize your father by his heavy breath and strong cold hands. He visits you rarely. Hello there, little new Brante. Mother's tender voice, however, follows you day and night. My, you're growing so quickly, my child. There are 2 more children in the family named Stefan and Gloria. Gloria sings songs to you. She often dresses you in tight clothing and holds your hands as you learn to take your first steps. Stefan likes to sweep you up and pinch you and toss you into the air. Oh look, this is your brother and sister. Yeah, you're my little brother. We're gonna play together, but I'll always be in charge because you were born a commoner. That does not look like a kid. Be quiet, Hugh. He doesn't understand yet. Come on, baby noob. Let's go play in the yard. It is hot outside. You grip your brother's hand with one hand and your sister's with another as they help you walk down the giant stone stairs. Then you sit on the ground and start exploring the sparse blades of grass with your fingers. It tickles. In the sky far above, away from you, is a gigantic pillar, a perfectly straight stick made of light. It's so bright it hurts to look at. Why are you staring at the shining pillar? It's not going anywhere, you know. Hey, I want to play hide and seek. He's just a little baby. How is he going to play? Then you hide him and I'll try to find both of you. You have no idea what they're talking about, but you support them with happy cooing. This is strange but so exciting. Stefan and Gloria glance at each other, then your brother walks into a big tree, closes his eyes, and starts shouting something. Gloria takes your hand and walks you through the yard. Your sister takes you behind some thick bushes by a tall wall. The light from that light stick on the horizon barely reaches here. You can't see home from this place. The ground is crawling with tiny black bugs. Gloria sits you down on the ground and puts a finger to her mouth for some reason, and then she's gone. You can no longer hear Stefan's voice. Gloria is nowhere to be seen. You feel colder. The bugs are no fun to play with. You've been sitting here for a long time, completely alone. Nobody checks on you. Do they forget about you? Do they abandon you? We could cry loudly. And, you know, it's a baby thing to do. We could get up off the ground and start crawling through the bushes to our way back home, or we could just sit and wait. What kind of baby are we? Well, lots of babies. You know what? I don't know how many babies would just sit there and wait if there's just nothing to touch. We're only 1. You know what? I am gonna sit there and wait. The bush is covered with leaves swaying in the wind. You brush through them with your fingers. The twigs and branches are stiff and will not bend. They are different from the blades of grass. Down on the ground, you see a group of bugs carrying a little twig. You grab it from them. They're so funny. One of the bugs crawls on your finger and bites it. It's just enough to sting a little. You hear brisk steps and leaves and twigs rustling and parting. Your mother leans over. You greet her with a happy face and show her finger with a bug on it. So that's where they took you. Mother picks you up, puts her to her chest, and pats you on the head. Your brother and sister stand behind her, clearly feeling guilty. Gloria is in tears, and Stefan keeps staring at his feet. You hug Mother tightly. She is here now. We're curious. Ho ho ho. Is this our perception run? It's looking like it. I don't know, they're just kind of the decisions I've wanted to make so far, not really just because they're perception based. The Great Descent. Another memory. You are still a little child, but you can already talk and run around on your own. Today is out of the ordinary. Father is busy around the house, giving orders to the servants throughout the day. The kitchen has been abuzz with work, and there are solemn, gloomy preparations and candles being lit. Even your older brother Stefan is quiet today. Mother takes your hand and brings you to sister Gloria. My son, today is the Great Descent. We honor the day when the twin gods descended to us. We must spend this day in reverence to the gods. You are too young to understand, so just do everything your sister says for now. Gloria takes you to the playroom. There are no toys, no chairs, even the carpet has been taken away. There is nothing there but the bare wooden floor. Today we're not allowed to go to any other room, and we'll be eating nothing but gruel and stale bread. On the day of the Great Descent, everyone must be where they belong. It is so quiet, unusually so. Muffled voices from beyond the door are all you can hear. You are sitting on the cold floor, confused with no idea what to do. Then you hear your sister's voice, a lonely sound in the empty room. It is a little song that your mother taught her. You hold your breath as you listen to it. When the twins came down to earth, they brought lots for every birth. Let us count them 1, 2, 3. The twins made them for you and me. Nobles rule and bravely fight. They protect us with their might. Priests work hard to understand, guide us by the twins' commands. Common people work and toil, always patient, never spoiled. Live your lot where you were born, to the day when you pass on. Know your lot and know the prayer, for the twins see everywhere. You're transfixed by the tune. Gloria notices your gaze and a smile creeps across your face. You like the rhyme, don't you, Noob? Do you know what it's all about? Look, there are 3 lots. They were brought to us by the twins when they descended to us from the shining pillar. Remember that pillar of light on the horizon? That's it. You can see the shining pillar any time from anywhere in the world. If you follow your lot as you live, you'll reach the peak of the pillar, and if you don't, you'll get eternal torment at the foot. You and I are lowborn. Mom is a commoner too, so the lot for you and me is to suffer and be patient and work hard, understand? Nope. The priests and nobles have other lots. The nobles fight and rule over everybody. The priests, well, I'm not really sure what they do, but I guess they talk to the twins and then teach everybody. Gloria stares at you intently. Did you get it, silly? Then she shakes her head and keeps singing the song over and over again. Her voice transfixes you, drawing you in. The room starts to glow like the sky. From this light emerges 2 figures you've known ever since the moment of your birth. One of them embraces your sister's shoulder, the other stands guard behind her back. You watch this happening before your very eyes, unable to turn away. Gloria is swaying to the song, unaware of what is happening. She sings the final verses once more. Know your lot and know your prayer. You feel compelled by this divine sign to express yourself somehow. You feel the words condensing within the light. What will these words be? Finish the song properly or sing the last line wrong? We're gonna go sing the last line wrong. Yeah. You shout your own words instead of the last line of the song. Know your lot and know your prayer. The lots are lies told everywhere. You shout these words but have no idea how they came to you. The shining pair standing behind her back turn to look at you. You can feel their gaze piercing you from top to bottom. When the moment passes, they melt into the dim light coming from the window. Now Gloria is staring at you. You see disappointment in her eyes. Noob, that's not the way the song ends. Why did you ruin it? You shrug, quite pleased with your cleverness. We're hilarious, okay? Get out of here. "3 years old. Spring, the origin. You're starting to understand more and more of what the adults say. Your family isn't unusual, and your father is a nobleman, but not by birth. His title was earned through a great service. Your mother is a lowborn woman, a commoner. Because of this, you were born a commoner, but father says you may yet become unto nobility. You learn to read at an early age. Together with mother, you read and learn by heart, and many poems of the divine twins, the twin gods who reside upon the shining pillar. Mother calls these poems prayers. Again and again, you try to discern the shapes of gods in the strip of holy light that shines into the sky all day and night, but the light is too blinding to gaze upon. The greatest joy of all is when the stairs are no longer an insurmountable obstacle. Now you can climb and even jump from step to step. Father urges you to be more careful and avoid climbing too high, but even though you keep falling, you never stop being curious about the world around you. Your older brother Stefan now spends less and less time playing with Gloria, and you playing with commoners is beneath a nobleman to be, he says. So Gloria calls him names, and Stefan pulls her pigtails. One fine evening, Father gathers you all in the sitting room with an announcement. You will have another little brother or sister soon. Gloria asks him to bring home a little sister. Another brother would be too much. Stefan gets frustrated. There are too many little siblings getting in his way as it is. Soon you will be an older brother too, and it doesn't really matter who the youngest will be, a boy or a girl, you will love them the most. When Father comes back from his trips, he reads his adult books aloud for you. You'll find these stories of wars and generals and rebellions quite enchanting, not the adult books you're thinking of. Naughty, naughty. And Father approves of your fascination. Study hard and maybe you'll become a noble of the mantle and earn your sword, but first you need to grow up. Yeah, you're 3! Grow up already! And growing up, the concept is as terrifying as it is alluring. Good job. You keep staring at the carpet under your feet. You are both ashamed and proud, and it feels odd. A scratch on your hand stings a little. Stefan is standing next to you, stifling from pain. Your brother was training in the yard with a wooden sword. You wanted to go play with him, but he ended up getting angry and throwing the sword at you. The stick hit you in the shoulder. You picked it up and hit him with it. Your mother's shoes walking to and from the carpet. You do not want to look up. You would rather not see her angry. She is not as gentle to you these days. Why did you hurt Stefan, noob? You stammer out an explanation. He hit you first. You just hit him back. How dare he pester me like that? When I grow up, I'm going to hit you with a real sword. Alright, bring it on. Mother shushes you both and speaks to you again. Her voice is stern, and yet you can still feel her concern for you. Even if Stefan hits you, you cannot hit him back. You are my son, and I was born a commoner. Our lot is to suffer. But your brother was born from a noble father and a noble mother. His sacrament is coming soon, and then he'll rule over the likes of us. If you hurt a noble, you must be punished. That is your lot, and the sooner you learn it, the better off our entire family will be. Now Stefan looks at you in triumph. You look up at Mother in fear, not sure what to do now. We can accept our punishment, deny our guilt, or demand an explanation. No, I'm not guilty. No, I'm not guilty. The lot of suffering. You break out of your mother's arms and start screaming. You're innocent and you cry, and if he hits you, you'll hit him back. All fear and shame are gone. You stand up and stand up straight and stare defiantly into Mother's eye. Her expression grows bitter. She catches you by the collar of your shirt and drags you down the stairs. I'm doing this for your own good. Do not defy me. You were born a commoner, my son, and power and will is not yet your lot. This is Stefan's lot. He'll become a noble soon. Life for you and me is humility and suffering. You have to accept it. You are flogged in front of your entire family. The pain burns on your skin again and again. You clench your teeth and hold back the tears. That is the only way you can prove that you are your brother's equal. It's the only way you can prove that one day you'll have the right to rule and fight. Apparently, determination on these last two were the ones that I went for. Mother mostly stays in her chambers now. With each passing day, she grows heavier and her features get rounder. It's difficult for her to walk, but she still smiles all the time. One day she takes your hand and puts them on her big belly. You feel the movement deep inside her. You'll have another brother or sister soon. Gloria takes you on walks to the yard now. You explore the yard together under your evening light. At the pillar she sings you songs and tells you amazing stories. Hey noob, do you want to hear a rhyme? I wrote it myself. There's even a bit about you, but don't tell anyone, okay? Writing poems and songs is only for nobles. If mommy hears about it, I'll get flogged. Remember how you got flogged for hitting Stefan? Stefan? Our judge is my second father. In the past I had another. Mother says the twins are great, says we should not fight our fate. Brother loves to jump around. Please don't fall on the ground. See, I wrote a little rhyme. Please don't tell them it's all mine. But to say your sister is nowhere to be seen, she promised to take you to the old pond and show you the red frogs that lived there, but then she vanished. The servants join you in the search. Even Mother leaves her chambers when she hears the commotion. Finally you find Gloria in the far corner of the garden. She is holding a quill and sheets of paper covered in poetry. Mother becomes angry the moment she sees it. She looks at the poetry and her face grows dark with rage. Gloria standing before her, wringing her hands and looking for an opportunity to run, but there seems to be no escape. What is this nonsense, Gloria? We talked about this. You were told to take care of your little brother. You were absolutely not allowed to entertain yourself with this writing. I can decide that for myself, Mom. No, you cannot. It's already been decided by the gods. And he's not a little brother anymore. He doesn't need a nanny, and I need some time alone to think for myself. I'm not hurting anyone. You are a commoner and a future wife. It's time you learned how to properly care for children. If your disgraceful former father kept me in his house, you would have been born a noble, but that is not our fate, and you are absolutely forbidden from ever spoiling paper and wasting ink again. Mother grabs Gloria by the hand and takes you both into the house. They scribbled sheets fly into the fireplace. Gloria sobs. You're a bystander to this scene, unsure of how to act. We're kind of defiant. I'm going to offer to write rhymes with her, I think. Yes, I got you, Gloria. Mother leaves. The last of your sister's poetry burns away in the fireplace. You hug your sister and whisper to her, "Let's go to the library," you say. The two of you can hide under the table and write something together. Gloria shakes her head violently. Mother said no, and there was no way she could ever defy her. You reassure her that it will be your secret. You pull Gloria into the library. She fights you, but you refuse to relent. You carefully peek inside. Your sister takes a small book from one of the shelves. You read it together under the table. It's a book of poetry about eternal love, and Gloria clearly adores it. You decide to write a poem of your own. She recites a line in an ecstatic voice, and you repeat it after her and offer a rhyme of your own. She nods happily. You do this until the day ends. You've written a poem of your own and learned it by heart. Not a single line of it has been committed to paper, which means that you stayed true to your mother's rule. Loopholes. Beat her for writing poetry. This world's messed up, man. It's a messed up world. I don't like it. We're changing things. Year 1122, winter, the coming sacrament. Mother is in her armchair, knitting woolen jackets, pants, and socks for the little one. The baby will need to be kept warm, she says. Father spends less time at home now. Mother says he's very busy with his important job. He's a judge, after all. One day you decide to ask Mother about Stefan and Gloria. How come they're brother and sister to you, but not siblings to each other? Well, my dear, I didn't give birth to Stefan, you see. He's the son of another mother, and Gloria is the daughter of another father. Come now, don't knit your brow like that. You'll understand when you're older. How is that even possible? You're all family, are you not? Several days later, Mother calls Stefan and Gloria to the sitting room. You sneak in after them, after Mother gets angry and asks you to leave, but then she relents. You're told to sit still, be quiet, and remember every word you hear. When you enter the temple, bow to the twins, first to the elder on the right and then to the younger on the left. Stefan, you're a nobleman to be, so walk along the side paved with marble where the benches are. Gloria, you walk along the sharp side. When you're there, you must get down on your knees, each on your own side. Stefan, kiss the sword. Gloria, my daughter, they will strike you with the lash. Don't be afraid of it. Resign yourself to the suffering it brings. It is the blessing of your lot. Gloria doesn't like the idea of a lash. There's a tense feeling in your chest too. You were told to remember this. Will the lash strike you too one day? On the next day, you take your brother and sister to the temple. You run towards them, and when they finally come back, the back of Gloria's dress is soaked with blood. She's hunched a bit, sobbing quietly. Stefan puts on airs, acting prouder than ever. Nothing else looks different about them. It's like all is the same, and yet everything has changed. Each of them has accepted their lot. -1 with Stefan Brante. Unity -1. Oh no. Family falling apart. Brother and sister sacrament, year 1122. Your siblings, Stefan and Gloria, took their first sacrament at the temple. Another baby! You eye the little bundle in your father's arm with curiosity. Behind the many layers of swaddling clothes is your newborn baby brother. Mother is glowing and smiling with joy, and Stefan and Gloria are here also, all excited. You promise yourself you're going to be the best big brother in the world. You'll never hit him. Oh no, the two of you will play together and tease Stefan together and help Mother together and go on so many adventures together. Feels so strange to be an older brother. Just the other day, you were the youngest in the family, but everything is different now. Your parents named your little brother Nathan, and your mother spends day and night by his side. Nathan cries all the time, day and night. Mother barely gets any sleep. She is so worn out, she starts forgetting things. Like today, for instance, she forgot her knitting in the armchair in the sitting room. You'd better bring it back to her as soon as possible. You run to the mother's bedroom, you miss her smile so much. You walk in without saying hello and you give her your knitting, but instead of gratitude you get an ice-cold, exhausted stare. Nathan is also there, screaming all the time. Go away, noob, you're bothering me. She spits these words out through her teeth. You look at the bawling newborn, she can't even get a minute of respite. Enough already. When are you going to stop? I just want some peace and quiet. Mother leaps across the room and starts shaking Nathan with malice in her eyes. Her cries get even louder. She looks so tired from this never-ending scream. She must be within an inch of smashing him against the wall. Somebody has to do something. You're scared for your mother right now, but you fear for Nathan's life much more. I am going to snatch Nathan from Mother. No, Mom! You leap at your mother and demand she give you Nathan. She freezes when she hears the words. You snatch your little brother out of her arms. She chokes with rage and falls on the bed screaming. You run away to the playroom. Your baby brother is heavy in your arms. He sniffles. You sway him gently like Mother did and quietly sing him a lullaby about the twins. Nathan calms down. Soon he closes his eyes. You put the newborn on your bed and swear on your life that no one will ever hurt him when you're around. You hear heavy footsteps in the hallway. Father enters the playroom. He looks at you, then at Nathan, somewhat confused. You did something bigger than yourself today, son. It's a noble deed to protect your family, but you should have come to me. Please understand, this was my duty, not yours. You saved your baby brother from harm. If you feel ready to take the responsibility for others, then maybe you can walk the path of the noble when you're older, but for now, we should bring him back to your mother. Come with me. He picks up Nathan. Your brother is fast asleep, breathing quietly. The three of you return to Mother's bedroom. Father puts Nathan back in his crib. Mother is no longer screaming. She embraces you. Please forgive me. The twins know I was out of my mind. Please don't be angry with me. You hug your mother in response. We get +1 with Nathan Brante, who looks very odd. You will remember what he did for you. I know we're getting close to the 30-minute mark, by the way. I think we're going to finish the childhood chapter in this full episode, so that might take a lot longer, but we're going to do that, I think. We get -5 willpower for that, so we're definitely worn out. Yeah, your younger brother Nathan is born. Nice. What do we got going on next? Oh, we're 5 years old now. So at 4, we rescued our little brother from shaking baby syndrome, which is a terrible thing. Toy soldiers. You wake up to your father's touch on your shoulder. He's finally back from after a long trip. Noob, today is your special day, the day when you begin your studies. Now teachers will be coming to our home to teach you, and you must do everything they say. Be diligent in your studies, and you will grow closer to the nobleman's lot. And since you must remember this day, a present is in order. Lydia, get our little schoolboy dressed. I'm taking him to the market district. Stefan wants to come too, but your father shushes him sternly. This is your day. Your elder brother is hurt to hear this, but stays quiet. An open carriage takes the two of you through the dusty, noisy city streets, a pleasant wind tussling your hair. Your city is called, I'm gonna butcher this, Anzot? That you already know. It is one of the largest cities in the entire empire. There is a big shadow on the street. It comes from the white foliage of an enormous tree that spreads its branches all above the city. My son, did you know that the silver tree grew from the blood of our God's own disciples? It has been growing here for hundreds of years, right in our city. It cannot be damaged or burned. Not even the clergy know why. The carriage comes to a small halt by a small shop next to a city square. You run there and freeze by the stalls in excitement. The shop is packed with dolls and figurines and toys. You've never seen so many at once before. Have you chosen your present yet? Father asks you. You have. You want the Holy Order set, which includes several figurines of the Empire's greatest warriors of all time. You rattle off everything you know about the Holy Order. They were the ones who aided the Emperor's own forces in seizing the province of Magra and storming our city. That's how we joined the Empire. Father nods in approval. Very well. War isn't your lot for now, but maybe these toy soldiers will teach you to think like a general. We will lead them into battle and study military strategy. Go ahead, take your present. Having said this, Father turns away to examine the books. You're into the box of the toy soldiers, delirious with excitement. But there's a fancy-dressed boy in your way. He's about to take the warriors for himself. He elbows you aside and reaches for the box. Anger overcomes you and you push him from behind. Your opponent falls to the floor. The rich boy screams so loudly everybody in the shop hears it. He hit me! He hit me! A tall tower of a man looms over you. This is the boy's father. But then you feel your own father's hands on your shoulders. What happened? Press against your father. Your mind more at ease now. He will protect you. Yes, you shoved the boy to the floor in front of everyone, but he tried to take your present for himself. Father turns you around to face him when he hears these words. Is this true, Noob? Did you strike the son of a nobleman? It's not yet. I am going to tell him the truth of what happened. The man elbowed me, and I pushed him to the ground. It isn't fair to blame you without letting you speak too, and you didn't want to shove that stupid boy. He was the one who shoved you first. But the angry nobleman, the boy's father, will not let you finish. Nobody cares about a whip for your so-called truth, little lowborn. The law is the law, and your punishment is due. Your father nods in agreement to these words, no matter how sad they make him. They lead you and the nobleman's son out of the shop. You're told to bow to him and show humility. A bad feeling sends a shiver down your spine. With a satisfied grin on his face, the boy swings his arm and slaps you in the cheek. He strikes you again and again. Enough. He got what he deserved. We're leaving. Get out of our way. Your head is swimming from the heavy blows. You return to the senses back in your bed with servants treating your face. Father stays by your side all day. The morning after, you find a little box in your bed with the 10 soldiers of the Holy Orders inside. You paid dearly for your stubbornness. But we got +1 determination. Oh yay.